morning, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Sarinana. We're holding our PLC today over PLCs, Professional Learning Community. So what grade do I have with me today?
Second grade.
Second grade. Okay, thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing your things. Let's get started. So today's agenda, we have three things we're going to do. The see it, the name it, and the do it part of our PLC. So we're going to start off with what is a PLC, the benefits of a PLC, what are the expectations, how will they work, go into the name it part. We will view examples and then reflect on what will help us move on. Thank you. And what will help us move forward in a positive way. So today's objectives, today we will familiarize ourselves with the ideas of professional learning communities and discuss how we will implement them into our daily schedules. And our expectations will be to utilize the information presented and accurately engage in a PLC, which we don't. You'd be surprised. So what is a PLC? Our best teachers cannot make change alone. We cannot work as an island. It is with collaboration and vital support from others that teachers can work to succeed in fully helping their students. So, as traditionally defined, a PLC is an ongoing process in which educators work to collaborate in recurring cycles of collective inquiry and action required to achieve better results for the students that they serve. So let me ask you guys a question. What did you guys think PLCs were before today?
I honestly didn't know. I know it's about information, but I mean, to be honest, never really have gone and done one.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Correct. Lesson planning. Okay. So I know that our administration has come to us before and said, hey, you have a PLC at 8 o'clock. Be there. Right? What would you say if I said PLCs are actually supposed to be teacher-led? Would that surprise you? Right?
Right.
Very, very different. So it's a time for collaboration, not so much being spoke to and being told what to do. So PLC core principles. The core principle of all PLCs is the idea that professional development among teachers, so among your colleagues, will lead to great success for their students. The biggest factor for success is and will always be the teacher. So when you are hosting a PLC, your goal is to support your teacher, to give your teacher a chance to collaborate with other teachers, to make the students in their classroom succeed more. So the benefits of PLC. The benefits of PLC are not limited to student growth and achievement. So PLCs can also contribute to creating and maintaining a thriving school culture. They can also allow for teachers and administrators to keep a close eye on the inner workings of the school. So principals can stop in, any admin can stop in. They can see what's going on. They can see if their teachers are unhappy with something, or if something isn't working, or if they need to provide resources. It's their opportunity to listen to you guys. So what to expect in a PLC? There is no one size fits all. You are holding PLCs for individual purposes. For example, if at our school attendance is the main issue, we can hold a PLC just for attendance, and we can call a committee for the just attendance PLC, and then we can think about ways to help with attendance. So PLCs can also be used to review data, plan collaboratively, support colleagues, reflect and share teaching practices, and grow professionally. Again, what to expect. The data gathered is always going to be school specific, so they're not supposed to give you things that aren't related to what you're doing in the classroom. So it is only relevant to you, your classroom, your co-teachers as well. Teachers will be expected to gather data Perform research based on performance of the students in their current classroom. It's what we already do. We use iReady, we use different assessments. You get that data, you sit down, you review the data with your team, and then you talk about how you're going to use it. PLCs provide teachers with autonomy to choose the direction they would like to go. So you have your data, you look over it, and then you decide what you want to do from there. No one is telling you what to do, you choose. PLCs aim to build areas to aid in student learning, not just teaching. So it's not like a professional development where you're going to become a better teacher. You are sitting together to find ways to help your students directly. And then it always aims towards creating a culture of collaboration. You're working together. We are smarter together in a group, not just one. So today we are focusing on a model created by Richard DeFore. The DeFore model was developed by this guy right here. His name is Richard DeFore. He was a public school educator for 40 years, working as a teacher, high school principal, and direct superintendent. He spent 19 years as a principal at Stevenson High School in Illinois. While there, he was awarded the U.S. Department of Education Blue Ribbon Award 4 times. In 1998, the school was selected as a New American High School, which recognized high-performing education institution as models of success. So he used all of these methods that I'm talking about today, and he was successful in doing that. Okay, so the components of the PLC. The DeFore PLC components are, there are 6 of them: student learning and experiences, collaborative teams, collective inquiry, action orientation, continuous improvement, and result orientation. Starting with student learning and experiences, regular PLCs give teachers time to reflect on student data. PLC teaching ensures that lessons are properly aligned. So you're making sure that everyone in your team is doing the same thing this way, and also grade level vertically as well. So the 4 questions that are going to guide you in your PLC are: number 1, what do we expect students to learn? How will we know if they have learned? How will we respond? Is that mine? Oh. Thank you. How will we respond when some students do not learn? And how will we extend, it's okay, how will we extend and enrich learning for students who have demonstrated proficiency? So again, it is student driven. Collaborative teams. So here at Horizon Montessori, from now on, our collaborative teams are going to be grade levels. So you are going to work with your grade levels. Interventionists and electives are going to be thrown into grade levels to see how we can incorporate you to help the core teachers out. So it is necessary for collaborative groups to make sense. Instead of allowing teachers to join with friends that they like, who aren't going to benefit each other, we will assign you guys. Next is collaborative inquiry. The PLC process will require all educators to develop new knowledge, apply new skills, and engage in new practices. It is necessary for school leaders to understand that once PLCs are in place, it is necessary for them to help with providing resources and support that are beneficial for their teachers to improve. So inquiry must go beyond sharing how things have always been done. Collective inquiry requires that the team determines what questions to answer and then finding the answers together. So your questions are going to be, or the 5 steps, not so much your questions. When you are in the collective inquiry stage would be to analyze student data, review completed work, looking for common misunderstandings, examine and change instructional strategies, assess student progress, and then of course reflect. So PLCs are action-oriented. Once the team has answered the 4 questions from before, or just the questions from before, and worked through collective inquiry to determine how to move forward, we are going to put a purposeful plan into action, and we are going to create an action plan. So from there, you are going to find the action steps that you want. So if you're going to target reading, specifically digraphs, you're going to put that at the top, and you're going to figure out a way that you can help your students succeed in just that area. So you're going to ask yourself, who is responsible for each step? How will progress be monitored? What evidence and data will be collected? What resources does the team need? And what support does the team need? So then you move on to continuous improvement. So members of the PLC should work to constantly seek better ways to achieve mutual goals and accomplish their fundamental purpose of learning for all. All teams engage in an ongoing cycle. So it is an all-year thing. You are going to gather your evidence of your current grade levels and your students. You're going to develop your strategies. You're going to build on your strengths and address your weaknesses. Implement the strategies and ideas, analyzing the impact of the changes to discover what was effective and what was not, and then applying your new knowledge. So PLCs are result-oriented. Educators in a PLC should assess their efforts on the basis of tangible results. So you are not just sitting down and talking about a student that you assume is doing bad in your class. You have to use data. It's all led by data. The success of the PLC concepts depend not only on merits of the concept itself, but on the most important element in the improvement of any school, the commitment and persistence of the educators within it. So how will it work at Horizon Montessori? This is what matters to us, right? This is our schedule, pre-K4 all the way to 6th grade. We usually have a time at the end of the day. It's a 45-minute block called what, guys?
Soaring.
Soaring. Everyone has soaring. So soaring is now going to be used because soaring is a time designated for students to reflect on their own day, pretty much by themselves independently. We are going to sub in teachers into classrooms and give other teachers the opportunities to perform your PLCs. So kinder and pre-K will get pulled out for their PLC, TAs will watch them, and then the next grade levels, first, second, will get pulled out, and they will be replaced by other people that are free during that time. I don't want to say who because it says us. Okay, so our PLC norms, these are pretty much our rules. PLC meeting norms. We will take turns with notes. We will create attendance sheets. We will focus on making classrooms productive. We will not come unprepared, not participate. We will use it primarily. We will not use it as data entry. So it is not time for lesson planning. It is not time for grades. It is time to talk collaboratively. So number 1, data needs to be brought to meetings and used as a resource for planning instruction, individual, small group, and whole group. Number 2, focus on moving students to the next level. We are thinking about all of our students and what we can do to help them. 3, we are going to analyze student data across all subjects. And 4, you're going to ask those burning questions that you haven't had the chance to talk about with your colleagues. Okay, so we are going to watch a quick snippet of this video. We are going to listen to how they handle things, and then afterwards we're going to reflect over what you saw them doing.
Alright, so last time we met, we talked about that we were in our student work today on students that exceeded the standard, met the standard, and needed improvement. So I thought we could look at those pieces of work first, and we'll take a look at our rubric and kind of compare if we are all on the same page, if we have the same standards throughout the grade level. So, does someone want
so this part, the principal is there. Let me stop it. Giving them advice on how that they can do better. So, what did you guys notice? Let's go back to this page. When we think about our PLC norms and everything that we've talked about before, what did you notice happening in this video?
They had student work samples.
They had the samples, they had evidence of what's going on.
There you go. They were prepared. They had student work samples. Were they there gossiping about other things?
No.
No, they were working collaboratively to look at data to try and help their students, right? Okay, so today I did ask you guys to bring in some of your data, and now is the opportunity for you guys to kind of look over things for a little bit. So we have had the opportunity to learn about PLCs and see a PLC in action. Using the data that you brought with you today, let's work together to decide on the focus of our first PLC that will take place next week. So essential questions to think about: what will be your focus? What norms will help us succeed in moving forward? And how will we accomplish our goals? So what do you guys think, looking over your data?
So looking at my data, I noticed that my students are struggling mainly on certain like vowel diphthongs and vowel digraphs. So I think that would be something that I would like to focus on for my students.
What about you, Ms. Benya?
Mine follows almost along the same lines. A lot of our students are struggling even with basic spelling of the smaller words. We can read the words that they're trying to get across. That's because we've grown accustomed to their patterns, but we know that we need to implement something because there's a big struggle in those just easy words that they should already be knowing.
Okay, so we see some of the same patterns going on in all second grade. Moving forward, we are going to come up with different ideas and interventions that we can offer our students in those subjects, and then teach, assess, and see how we are next week. Alright, so do you guys have any questions for me?
Just a very informative presentation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm here to help you guys. Alright, so there's my contact information. Again, my name is Mrs. Sarinana. My email is up there if you guys need me. Thank you for joining us today.